The moment I opened my front door and saw nothing on my porch, my stomach dropped. My package was gone again. And before I could even take a breath, Karen stood across the street with her arms crossed, staring like I owed her an explanation. "Maybe secure your property next time," she said, with a smirk that made her look even more cruel. She didn't hide it. She didn't pretend. She just stood there waiting to see my reaction. I looked at the empty porch, feeling that slow burn inside me. 3 packages stolen this month, and she always appeared at the perfect moment. When she turned away, she whispered, loud enough for me to hear, "HOA hates messy people." That's when I knew she wasn't just nosy, she was planning something, and it had already begun.
That night, I sat on the couch, replaying the last few months in my head. The fake HOA notices taped to my door, the warnings about trash cans, lawn height, noise violations. All lies, all done by her. She walked around the neighborhood like she owned every street, every driveway, every porch. My wife kept telling me to ignore her. But this last package wasn't something we could replace easily. It was my wife's necklace, something she had saved money for all year. Losing that was personal. When I stepped out to get fresh air, Karen passed in front of my porch again, walking slow like she wanted me to ask something. She didn't even hide her smirk. That was the moment I decided I wasn't letting this go anymore.
The next morning, I installed a tiny camera under my porch light, a lens so small no one could notice. It wasn't a regular camera. It was something I kept from my military days, the kind of equipment built for real surveillance. Nobody in the neighborhood knew my background. To them, I was just a quiet guy who worked from home. No one knew I had spent years in EOD, handling bombs, traps, and devices most people wouldn't dare touch. If Karen wanted to play games, she picked the wrong house. So I prepared something creative, a glitter bomb. A harmless but unforgettable little surprise.
When the decoy package arrived, I acted like I didn't even see it. I waited behind the blinds. 5 minutes passed, 10, then her shadow appeared. Karen walked slowly, glanced around, and stepped right onto my porch like she owned it. She lifted the box, and instantly a blast of pink and gold glitter shot into her face. She screamed so loud the whole street heard. Her dog barked like the world was ending. She stumbled back, coughing, glitter sticking everywhere, and my camera caught every second. But instead of running home embarrassed, she did something insane. She called the HOA emergency line, claiming I attacked her.
Within minutes, she was telling neighbors I set a chemical trap and tried to blind her. She stood in the middle of the street, shouting that she had power over this block. I stepped outside with my phone and played the video of her stealing the package. Her face froze. Neighbors stopped pretending to check their mail and watched her silently. The embarrassment made her furious. "I am the HOA," she shouted. "You can't touch me." That was the moment I realized she wasn't going to stop. She was going to escalate this until she broke something, or someone. The next morning, I found a bright orange eviction notice stuck to my door, claiming my property was in severe violation and I might be removed from residence. It was fake. She forged it. And now the neighbors whispered that she planned to call the police next. My wife looked at me, holding our baby, fear in her eyes. That hit me harder than anything. I had dealt with explosives and war zones, but seeing fear in my wife's eyes, that was the real trigger. I knew then this wasn't just about stolen packages. It was about protecting my home and my family.
That night, I checked the camera footage again and discovered something worse. Karen wasn't only stealing packages from me. She was delivering them to a man waiting at the end of the block. Package after package. She had a whole hidden setup. She wasn't bored or lonely. She was running a stolen goods business under the cover of a fake HOA position. And she had probably been doing it for months. My anger turned to something colder. This wasn't about pranks anymore. I was about to expose a criminal who thought she was invincible.
The next day, Karen came to my porch with 2 HOA board members behind her. Real ones this time, but even they looked uncomfortable standing beside her. She shoved a thick folder against my chest and claimed it was final notice. Before I could answer, she pulled out her phone and said she was calling the police because I attacked her. I didn't stop her. I looked her right in the eyes and said, "I've been waiting." The moment she started her story, I opened live footage on my phone showing her stealing the glitter bomb package. Her voice cracked. The 2 HOA men stepped back, realizing she had lied to them too.
When the police arrived, I stayed calm. I told them I had military background and security footage. They watched the videos, every clip of her stealing packages, every moment of her handing items to the man waiting at the corner. No one said a word. The silence was louder than anything. When the officers turned to her, she tried to whisper excuses, but they didn't care. They asked her to turn around. Seeing her hands pulled behind her back, glitter still stuck in her hair, was the moment the neighborhood finally understood who the real problem was. Police searched her house and found piles of stolen packages stacked like a warehouse. Gifts, tools, clothes, medicine, things belonging to half the neighborhood. People who thought porch pirates were random thieves realized it had been her all along. She cried, saying she did it to protect the neighborhood. The officers didn't buy a single word. Her mugshot went online that same evening, and the neighborhood group chat exploded. Everyone she bullied finally came forward. Everyone had a story. A week later, the real HOA president came to my door, apologizing with tired eyes. She admitted Karen wasn't on the board at all. She wasn't even approved as a volunteer. She was just someone who liked controlling others and used fake authority to scare people. The HOA handed me a written apology and promised to implement new rules to prevent anything like this from happening again. That night, my wife hugged me and whispered she was proud of me. For the first time in months, our house felt peaceful. Life slowly returned to normal. No fake notices, no shouting, packages arrived on time, neighbors waved more. The street felt lighter, like the air itself was relieved. One morning, I found a plain envelope on my porch, no name. Inside, it was a note that said, "She picked the wrong house." And beside the note, a neighborhood watch badge. Someone else had been watching her too. Someone who wanted me to know I wasn't alone. Every time I swept my porch after that, a little glitter still sparkled in the cracks. Quiet proof that justice had been served in the most beautiful way. And deep down, I knew one thing. You never mess with a man's home, his family, or his land, especially when he knows exactly how to build a glitter bomb.